What's going on, everybody? Hi. I'm gonna wait a little bit until people come over to the Facebook stream for a little bit. I'm gonna wait until some people get up here, and then I'm gonna briefly talk about a few things, okay? There's a lot to talk about. I haven't been on Facebook for a minute, for good reason, and we'll get to it, you know? We'll get to why I haven't been on in a minute, and why I haven't done any of these live shows on Facebook. I'm sure some of you are like, whoa, what the hell? That's crazy, Hasan. Why haven't you been on Facebook? Well, a big part of the reason why I haven't been on Facebook is literally the reason why I currently have 77 people watching on the stream. That's part of the reason. I think Facebook is just doing a piss poor job of informing people of my videos when they come out. Facebook, I think, is doing a piss poor job of informing my viewers when my live videos come out, when my actual videos come out. Part of the reason for why I started streaming on this platform called Twitch. So that's one thing to talk about. But you might say, well, Hasan, what's up? Why is the title of your video, Professional Republicans Are Literal Demons? Well, that's because professional Republicans are literal demons. I do genuinely think that they are, their output is a mass net negative to society. The idea, the principles of conservatism, I don't necessarily agree with as a staunch progressive. Obviously, that's one reason why I have an intellectual disagreement with people. But beyond that, I don't know. I have a lot of issues with it. But one thing I will be talking about in today's video, specifically, is what Republicans have been doing surrounding the issue of voter fraud. Now, the number one thing that Republicans do when it comes to voter fraud is just the lie, really. It's mostly a myth. This notion that people are going around and illegally voting for Democratic candidates, of course. It's always illegal voters are always, of course, voting for Democrats for some weird reason. And in the Republican mindset, it's totally fake. There are George W. Bush era studies that prove that this is totally fake. There are studies from Barack Obama's era, from numerous institutions on either side of the political spectrum. Hold on, I'll put down the music a little bit. Okay, actually, you know what? Hold on, I'm gonna start my Twitch stream as well. I'm already live as well on twitch.tv/hasanAbi. For those of you who don't know, for the new people who have stumbled across my Facebook feed and you're like, whoa, what? You go live? That's crazy. I also go live on Twitch every day. Part of the reason why I haven't been going live as much on Facebook is because I've been going live on Twitch every day. So yeah. Hey, Maurice, what's going on, brother? So yeah, when that intro music comes on, that means I'm going live on Twitch as well. Don't ask for a shout out. Say something that's worth being talked about. What do you mean? So yeah. Oh, hold on. We're going to get into that. I'm going to get into that. Don't worry. I'm going to talk about 2 instances of voter fraud, okay? That's hasanAbi, my Twitch name. For people who are asking what my Twitch name is, it's twitch.tv/hasanAbi. That's twitch.tv/HASANABI. I'm not going to be shaving my mustache anytime soon, and I personally don't care if you have any sort of critique of my facial hair. This is something that, I choose to have. Okay. All right. Well, let me just go on the Twitch stream a little bit really quickly, and then we'll talk about voter fraud, specifically why Republicans are awful. What's going on, everybody? At Twitch. Hi. I was already live on Facebook doing another Facebook stream, trying to push some people over from Facebook who have still not gotten woke enough to go on twitch.tv/hasanAbi. So that's where I was. But today's episode, you might be thinking, is titled Republicans Are Literal Hell Demons. You're like, what? What the fuck does that mean? I know Republicans. They're not demons. I'm, of course, referring to professional Republicans. Now, what's a professional Republican? A professional Republican is someone who is or performs as a Republican professionally. They get paid for it, oftentimes handsomely. They are rewarded for this sort of behavior. Think the Jordan Petersons, think the Ben Shapiros of the world, and also think of Republican politicians in general. These are all categories of professional Republicans. A lot of what they do centers around doing just wholly awful things, passing awful legislation that is hurtful for the majority, and also passing awful ideas on as though they are progressive somehow, or that they are somehow more liberating. Now, a perfect example of this, of course, is not allowing any sort of socialization to occur at any sort of level when it comes to the medical field. Now, this is something that philosophers have contemplated the ethics around for centuries. Obviously, I personally think that it is completely unethical to have the profit motive associated with, or the free market economy or the free market principles associated with scientific achievement in the realm of medicine. I think it's totally bullshit. It's totally ridiculous. But if you ask Republicans, that's just a difference in opinion, man. Okay? So that's one easily identifiable way in which you guys can all understand that professional Republicans are absolute dog shit, because they perpetuate this narrative. They make it seem as though this narrative is completely normal, and that is just simply a difference in opinion, when in fact we have seen here in the United States the devastating outcomes of that sort of opinion being sold as just a simple disagreement. Anyway, so we got that going. That's one thing. You already know that stuff. The professional Republicans are demons and whatnot. Now, what I wanted to discuss today is not the framework of professional Republicanism from in the medicine, like in the field of medicine. What I want to talk about today is professional Republicans and voters, okay, and voter fraud and voter ID laws, and that sort of stuff, all right? Because this is something that we hear from Republicans all the fucking time. Oh my God, there are millions of illegal voters. There are billions. There are not even millions. There are billions of illegal voters that are voting illegally in this country that also surprisingly has a voter turnout at 61%. It's even lower than 2008 levels, but that's okay. Obviously, it's if it wasn't for the illegal voters, that turnout would even be lower. It's all fucking total bullshit. All you need to do is think about it for more than 3.5 seconds. But there are two specific cases of illegal voting that I wanted to pinpoint, okay? And the way that these two cases have been covered. Now, a lot of times people say, well, liberal media, there's a liberal bias. You guys are fucking lying about everything, blah, blah, blah. Shut the fuck up, you Republican idiot. That's the answer immediately. Whenever someone says anything like that, just shut them down. Be like, shut up, you're stupid. You're a stupid person. Shut up, the adults are talking now. And then you proceed to tell them why they think that there is significant amounts of voter fraud. And then you ask them who's doing the voter fraud, okay? Because this is significant. Because it turns out in North Carolina, the people who are doing the voter fraud, I wouldn't even consider this voter fraud because I don't want to even give them any sort of credence to that argument that their voter fraud is happening in any capacity. Because it's not. This is election fraud. This would be considered theft of votes rather than, it's electoral fraud rather than actual fucking individual voters going out and voting for their, dead relatives or whatever, or anyone going out and wiping fucking other people's social security numbers and then voting on behalf of them. That sort of shit is not happening. That's all a myth. That's literally what voter fraud is, by the way, just so everyone understands. But this is electoral fraud. It's much worse, okay? So Republicans, using legal infrastructure, will create different ways of suppressing votes, okay? They use the obvious tactics of instituting voter registration, which originally was created to disenfranchise the poor and the first-generation immigrants from voting. You had the Jim Crow and the Jim Crow South that completely barred black people from voting. There were other ways that are now deemed unconstitutional, thank God, to stop people from voting. But we still have different ways. And voter ID laws are one of the most common practices. Now, of course, anywhere on the fucking planet where there are voter laws, where there are voter ID laws or identification laws of sorts, there are drastically different systems set in place where it's much easier to get a fucking driver's license, or it's much easier to get a license in general. There's no backlogs in the DMV. There's no difficulty in which you can just easily achieve a form of identification. And then beyond that, there's no voter registration in a lot of places as well. So when people try to point to other countries and tell you like, well, wait a minute, well, you always like to talk about Norway when you're referencing their healthcare structure. Well, why not talk about their voter ID laws? Well, that's because one, it's much easier to get a license in those countries. It doesn't cost anything more often than not. And then beyond that, when they have comprehensive two-form of identification in a lot of these in a lot of these different countries in their election processes, the two-form of identification is fairly simple. It's just literally a credit card or a piece of paper with your fucking name on it. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily that you have to bring in two like federally approved licenses or whatever. Now, the ultimate goal of voter ID laws, of course, is to, in the most layman sense, and people will get upset at me, but the ultimate goal of voter ID laws, of course, is to create that same infrastructure or that same environment where only white landowners can vote. That was the ultimate goal of the United States when it was originally created. No women, no black people, no slaves, no immigrants, just white landowners. Obviously, that we don't have that system, but Republicans damn sure try to bring that back as best as possible. Now, one of the ways in which they do that, aside from like Brian Kemp in Georgia, who fucking literally wrote the book as the state secretary, purging black voters from voter rolls and closing polling stations in black neighborhoods or predominantly poor and black neighborhoods that are more often voting Democrat than not. There's another way in which Republicans have been able to actively take votes away from the Democratic Party. Now, how do they do that? Oh, well, they literally went up to old people's houses in North Carolina and fucking told them that they were working with the election officials, whatever the fuck that would be, and duping older black and Native American voters into giving their absentee ballots to them, and then either manually changing the candidate that they voted for into the Republican, or throwing it in the trash completely. So that's where we're at now. That's the stage in which we're. That's how we're operating when it comes to our current democratic processes. Okay, that's where we're at. Going up to fucking old people, and by the way, these people who did this, of course, they were the Republicans who did this. They were offering bounties if the Republican won. Now, for those of you who are on Twitch, you're going to be able to see the video that I'm going to show you. We're going to go through it quickly. It's a quick MSNBC coverage on the subject that we're going to go through. If you're on Facebook, you're not going to be able to see this, unfortunately. As a matter of fact, if you're on Facebook, I'm going to shut this off fairly soon. So just go to my Twitch at twitch.tv/hasanAbi. I'm live there as well, and you'll have a better view regardless, okay? So that's what we're doing right now. I'm gonna show you guys a Chris Matthews hardball segment, which I never thought I would say on the show. So that's what we're gonna do. So yeah, they destroyed a bunch of fucking ballots out there in North Carolina, and the state board of elections literally voted to hold off on certifying the results of the congressional race in that district because, and by the way, it was a unanimous vote. The reason why they did that is because they were like, oh shit, they totally fucking stole this, okay? Republicans totally fucking stole this. Twitch is just another platform. For those of you who are wondering what the hell Twitch is, Twitch is just another platform like YouTube or whatever. It's fucking free, dude. Just go. Like I said, it's just free. Go to twitch.tv/hasanAbi. You'll literally see this. And if you want to take part in the conversation, here, I'll open the, I'll turn off the, wait, hold on, sorry. I'll turn off the moderation actions. Okay, followers only chat as well. So if you're not even a follower, you can get in there and write some stuff. Okay, people are asking, please put the link from your Twitch. Okay, I will do that right now. Hold on. Yeah. Okay, for people who are wondering what my link is here, where the fuck? Okay, here it is. It's www.twitch, which is twitch.tv/hasanAbi. I believe other people are probably also posting it right now. I see Lady, my moderator on here on my Twitch, is already posting it. But yeah, I'm gonna put it out here as well. I'm gonna pin that comment as well, just so you guys can get over there. I mean, look, there's like usually up to 500, sometimes even 1,000 people on the Twitch chat. It's fucking awesome. I go live. You can ask me questions about the videos that I'm covering for the day, other issues. I cover daily news every day on my Twitch. So if you're interested in that at all, just go to my Twitch at twitch.tv/hasanAbi. Everybody on Facebook, okay? Now, all right, and then I think I'm just gonna